Zaccheus and Cinemascapes. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's up? It's good to be back, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So let's get right into it. This is America by Childish Gambino. Most know him as Donald Glover in the acting world, but in the music world know him as Childish Gambino. That video, when it launched the weekend that he hosted SNL, Saturday Night Live, that first day, I think it was the number 1 trending video on YouTube in America and internationally on both of those charts. And he had well over, I think, 20 million views that first day. What I'll do is I'll look up his stats now. But Zaccheus, let's get into something first.
Okay.
So, what is your interpretation of the video first? We'll get into the song later, but what is your interpretation of the video? Like, what did you think?
First, when I seen the video, I was trying to get what he was trying to say in the video.
Right.
Because there was a lot of scenery.
Yep.
You know, it looked like out of a South African movie. You know, I was trying to get the scenery, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And I said to myself, Childish Gambino. But I knew I had to find the video. When he was speaking about America, when he kept on saying America, America in the song, I was like, wait a minute. I look at the video and I said to myself, man, it looked like a South Africa. I seen the shooting when he shot the person in the head, and then he walked on, and he said, America, America. You gotta listen to the lyrics real carefully to hear what he's saying, because it's a lot of depth he went into when I was looking at that video. I had to look at it again.
Right.
And to really get the fullness of it. And sometimes that video is the kind of video that you can look at it over and over again to really get the fullness of that video. Because when you see it for the first time, you're not going to catch on to it. It's such a depth in that video where it talks about, it exposes exposes America for what it is, you know, when you look at that video.
Right.
And he's in the way how he took off, she had a shirt walking in the video. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, this guy reminded me of and when I had a quick flashback of the movie called Serafina. This is a quick flashback.
Uh-huh.
From the 80s. So I said to myself, I was like, wait a minute. So what's he trying to bring? Then he kept on saying America. So I knew he's talking about the problem issues in America, the gun violence and the brutality in America. So I said to myself, I said, man, let me watch this again. So I had to watch it to really get the understanding of that video. And I seen it last week, but I won't mind watching it again just to get the gist and to go explore. Because I mean, he's a very artsy artist, and he's stuff, and he remind me of, he's like I know his influences somewhat. I would say Bilal.
Oh yes.
Somewhat Prince.
Yes.
Somewhat I know that's his influences right there. He takes from those kind of artists, and he's even like, and when it comes to hip hop, he's more like, let me see. You said it, Cinema. You said one time we were talking off here. You said something. He's very artsy artist, but he's of a hip hop artist that's very artsy. That's like he's not the ordinary hip hop artist. He's not definitely the ordinary hip hop artist. He's conscious too, so he takes a little bit from Kanye because he's a little conscious. He's conscious. Kanye in his early
the old
day.
Kanye. There we go. Yeah.
Kanye in his early day.
And what did you mention off air, Fifth?
Well,
it was a comparison, but not to that person, but the type of what he reminded you of.
Okay, well, I'll get into what I think, and I'll hand it over to you, Cinema, because this will probably take some time. So, I felt that he is more of a he's his own like interpretation of what of a modern day Wycliffe, if Wycliffe would have came out now.
Wycliffe. Yeah.
In terms of his eclectic, style of music, his unique sense of production, and kind of what he wants to do overall. And his music career is still very early. So time will tell his
content wise too, because Wyclef was talking about serious things if you got in the deep cuts of him too. And yeah, Fugees was definitely talking deep stuff.
Right. And I'm sure he's inspired by the few Fugees. But we'll get into that later when I talk about him musically. We'll just focus on this video. Zaccheus, let me go back to you. You said that his influence sounds like maybe he listens to Bilal. When it comes to his singing, yes, he does kind of remind me of Bilal. And the reason why you mentioned Prince next is because Bilal, number one, is the way he sings is like a modern day Prince anyway. Yes, I noticed that from Bilal when he first came out. I said Bilal definitely is Prince influence, and the way his singing, there's a singing projection and cadence that Bilal has. You know, so I definitely understand why you said that. It's more of a 6 degrees of separation. It's like Prince is of this time, Bilal was of his era, and then now we have when it comes to Childish Gambino singing of this time. So it's more of a timeline of things that move on as we go. Anything more you have to say about the video?
The video is a video that when I first remember when I first seen it, it was like it reminded me of the movie called I don't know why I keep going back to Serafina.
Yeah.
Because I seen that movie years and years ago, back in like late 80s, 90s, I believe. Yeah.
The chanting is like the chanting that the kids did in the villages and stuff in that movie.
Right, exactly.
And then he had the African kids dancing in it too. So it
brought that back. Mm-hmm.
So that's a subtle way of saying we have apartheid here, but it's just, it's a systematic hidden way.
Well, okay, Cinema, let's get into your interpretation of the video. Like, what did you think when first seeing it? What is something that you saw that stuck out to you that said, wow, he's really trying to drive this point home?
First, the gun violence.
Yep.
And then the second shot was the church that got shot up and how he just walked past the police car.
Dylan Roof.
Yeah. Everyone's running there and he's just going away.
Yeah.
And there's so much. And there's one time where they're dancing and there's like something that symbolizes a pale horse behind them dancing. And there's a lot of just things. Like when you watch it over and over, you see something new. You're like, snap.
Talk about the direction.
Exactly.
Talk about the direction of where the pale horse was actually riding from. You remember that part of the video, right?
Yeah.
It was coming from.
Yeah, I was going to let you speak on that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's your specialty.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll get into that when it's my turn. But yeah, more.
Yeah.
Speak more about it. Like, what else did you kind of notice?
Also, the type of the song, the combination of his music creativity with the modern "Don't Catch You Slipping" and the "Don't Catch You Slipping," and how the dancing, how black man make your money,
yeah,
the glorification of things, it's a mockery. It's the glorification of gun violence. It is, black entertainment, but at the end, it's like him on the streets running because you still don't get respect, even though you make your money.
Right.
It's a lot, you could unpack that because it's way deeper than that.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes, totally.
And so and there's so much imagery that goes by quick, the dancing on the cars, him being shirtless. That's modern.
Right.
Right.
And the fact that, he's not doing a six pack. He's,
it's just a regular. Right. There you go.
I thought it was so genius. I thought that was one of the most genius facts.
Yeah.
Things in the video.
That's true. That might be the most liberating part of that video is the fact that this is a guy who's let's just keep it real. Women don't see him as a sex symbol or anything of how women used to see 50 Cent every time he took his shirt off.
Right.
So here he is
But
hey,
that's the point.
Right, that is the point. The point is, this ain't about what I'm trying to tell you, but this is me, and accept me for who I am and how I look. Now,
right.
yeah.
And it's also a shot at the culture at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
And so there's multiple threads in it. But like, as soon as I saw that, because I saw the performance on Saturday Night Live, and then I'm looking on IG and I saw, the video dropped for the song.
Yeah, he did it all the same day.
Right.
Perfect marketing strategy.
Right. So I see the song on Saturday Night Live. I'm in a commercial. The video drops. I'll bookmark this. I watched the video after Saturday Night Live the first time. And so I'm like,
mm-hmm.
It was a very good episode of Saturday Night Live, by the way. But yeah, it was hilarious. Entertainment. The music was great. But that was great marketing.
Yeah.
And then to have so much, it's like, this is what we needed at this time with what was going on before.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was brilliant. And it's so much, with the guns, the police,
mm-hmm.
then, the eyes and the running, it's the plight of Black people, no matter what, no matter who you're married to, no matter how much success you get, there's just certain things, are we doing the step and fetch it again? Excuse me. Are we doing the step and fetch it again?
Right.
The music business is about supply and demand. If you're doing business, it's supply and demand. If you're doing art, they say if you want to do art, do something to make money in business and do business. That's the American thought. We're on commerce. Supply a product, it gets consumed by consumers. That's how our country, kind of works. Yeah. So Black man, get your money. They're eating it up.
Yeah.
Get your money. Mm-hmm. We'll get into the lyrics later, but
right.
Don't catch you slipping up. Don't catch, don't catch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's the movements and everything that how it coordinates with the lyrics and everything. Everything obviously has a purpose. Like him walking through the door, just shooting down the choir. Notice the choice of gun, the AK, which we're having a debate about. The assault rifle. First, it was a pistol,
right?
And then the guy, the slave, the prisoner with the hood on at the beginning. Pow! Don't even see the shot coming. He's just playing the guitar.
Exactly.
Doing his thing.
Exactly.
The slave, and then and then the knocks at the knocks at religion and the things that we've as a culture hold dear.
Yep.
Taking shots at it because the gunshots are not on the single. The gunshots are only on the video. The audible gunshots.
Right. So right. It's only in the video. It's not in the actual audio of the song. That's true.
Right. And so it was the point of the video. So shooting down the choir.
Yeah.
And then just walking away past the police.
Yep.
That hit me the first time. I was like, yo, is that, where was the shooting? South Carolina?
Yeah.
Is that I thought of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. The Dillon Roof church shooting. Yeah.
The church shootings. I also thought about the church burnings.
That too.
This video is saying a lot, boy. Yeah.
Right. And then you go there, like how you have cars in the video, dancing on the cars, and get your money. All the things, Fifth always talks about the systematic, system of right,
right.
And that video hit many different facets of it. And it also hit a lot of things that we've been talking about, with the political, with the gun violence, and the things of that nature. But, and so, and then I got the strap. I got to carry them.
Yes.
guns in my area. Word, my area. Yep. I got the strap.
I got to carry them.
I got to carry them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a big issue right now.
That is.
Oh, and Ollie North, according to this paper, said, "Oh, gun people are suffering like black people did with Jim Crow." What, Ollie North?
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that happened today, and this is Monday when we're recording, and so, you know, of course they're playing that down. But I saw the article, read the article. I'm like, what? You know, it ain't the same thing. You know, nobody's guns are gone yet. You know, it ain't like we took your guns. Ain't like you're on the ground with your hands up getting shot at.
Gun
compliant. Yeah. Ain't no laws being passed. Ain't no legislation even being worked on right now.
Yeah, exactly. We lost the battle with gun control. Lost it. And
exactly.
That's what he's trying to put. This is what he's trying to portray in this video. When you look at it, you know. Exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead with more of that. Because you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's what he's saying. You know, these things are good for us, but you won't deal with them until they touch you. And that's what he's saying with, you know, that's what I was getting, you know, and in the end with him running away, like, you know, how we run from the cops and the desperate look in his eyes.
Yes.
Despite that, that's always the result, you know, of anybody who, you know,
it's true.
I don't know when he filmed that video, but we've seen that happen. We've seen that happen with an artist the week before.
I seen him on a live interview.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna mention his name again. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. We're seeing it.
Scoopity doop.
Yeah, we're seeing it right before our eyes. It's like what, you know, J. Cole, that video in the back of the bus when he's talking about that.
Word.
He said it. It's the same thing.
Lost Profits, I think that video was.
Right. Yeah. I don't think these people were planning on those things happening because you do songs and your videos, you know, how far back? It wasn't happening yet when he was filming that. You know? It just tells you if something's true and someone's expressing something that's true, it's just facts. And so he had a lot of things. And I think even as we continue to watch the video, we'll see more things. But it's like a lot of those themes about the systematic nature, the nature of the music industry, the nature of culture, what culture is, what we feel is important in culture.
What is glorified in this nation.
What's glorified in this nation, what's glorified in hip hop now. All of that was on the table.
Yeah. It's like
and what really is and what isn't, you know? And then the turmoil of living that life because you're living a lie. And so when reality hits, it's a desperation. And sometimes it's too late for some people.
Yeah. Zaccheus, what were you about to say?
Sometimes when you listen to the radio, you don't understand sometimes what the trap artists are saying. But this video, you understand what saying. Even in the song, if you listen to the audio itself without looking at the video, understand what he's saying. It's like you get it. You listen to the song over again, you understand what he's saying because this is what hip hop is missing. They're missing the J. Cole's. J. Cole is relevant because he's talking about the things what's going on. The album is talking about the things what's going on right now in the music industry as far as the music is concerned. If you listen to the song 1985, and even with when Kendrick Lamar dropped some of his tunes, you understand that that is a need for these artists to be relevant because if it was up to just listen to lyricism, let's listen to trap music all day, then is the direction of it. This hip hop was all about message. Master Furious 5, big up to them. The message is all about the message in the music. All about. So let's say big up to Childish Gambino for coming up with that and portraying that because it's it's a need for that in the industry. Definitely a need for that. Yeah, so I'm just happy that he actually put that out. So actually young people can look at it and be like, wow, we did lose control.
Yeah.
But I would say young people still need some type of, there's some young people out there that need some type of direction and interpretation of what this video actually means, because not everybody can actually see this message. See, here's the thing. All of us are more are able to use our third eye. I mean, we've been training this for a long time. So we're able to break it down probably better than anybody else is. Another thing, we're all black. So there's a lot of things that he put in this video that we as a people live out every day. Now, let me get into how I feel about this video. So I like the video as far as the some of the stuff that he has in the background. I think his whole purpose of this and the song is you're paying attention so much at the surface, the foreground, but you're missing what's in the background. So the song "This Is America," he's basically the video in the song. The video is the reason why I think there's more of a like for the song itself, because I think the reason why he released the song and the video the same day, because it now gives there's an imagery and a visual to the song. So every time you hear the song, you see the video. That's very well calculated. That is not the order of how artists usually drop their music. It's usually the song first, video second. This was video and song at the same time.
Can I say something too with the Saturday Night Live? The imagery from the video was also some of the imagery from the video was presented on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I saw that performance.
Yeah, so
it was a good little sneak preview.
Right, nice and calculated.
Exactly, but we all know the video is where the main impact is. Right. And I think the interest of him and what he did that night on Saturday Night Live is another reason why that video got so much streams, So also here, let's talk about this. So the gun in the video was treated better than the body. Right. I felt that the symbolism of the body of the guy having a hood around his hood around his head, tied up, can't see, is basically a metaphor for being blindsided. The fact that the body, the gun was carried away in like a cloth, but the body had to be dragged away by people, because it kind of reminded me of this. It's like America, he's basically said America cares more about the gun than they do the lives. And that is the birth of this nation. See, I don't care what people want to do. They can go back and forth about politics and the Second Amendment and all the other stuff, okay? But this country and its corruption and its inception and the way things have gone the way they are and the driven force of war was because of the gun. So even though the First Amendment may be the freedom of speech, the Second Amendment or right to bear arms is treated better than the First Amendment.
All the time.
But it all depends on who's holding that, because that Second Amendment don't work for everybody. It didn't work out for Philando Castile. Yeah, I went there. So also let's talk about the dancing. So his dancing, I think the point was this. His dancing looked a little suspect. And I think the reason why he did that is because he's trying to convey some of that old dancing that black folks was forced to do in the minstrel shows. But now you ain't even got to force some of us to do that, because you got some black folks out there dancing like that right now. I'm talking about the men,
Exactly.
I mean, is somebody going to sit here and tell me with a straight face that some of the dancers that you've seen these men doing these hip hop videos ain't a little suspect. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just carry on and go on to the next thing. So here's the thing. So they show the church shooting, right? I agree with Charlemagne's point of view. The point probably would have been better made if he would have showed somebody white shooting the choir, because that's what actually happened. Ain't no black folks going around shooting up churches. That's false. Okay? When you said walking past the police, yeah, because Dylan Roof's situation was this. When he got arrested, instead of taking him to prison, instead of holding him in contempt and having him arrested, they took him to Burger King. I mean, where is it that you could shoot somebody and get a Whopper with cheese? I ain't never heard of that. But that's a privilege that happens that only one particular people of, who are pigmentally challenged are able to actually take part of. We can't take part of that. Because I ain't never heard of a brother killing somebody and then they take him to Popeyes for a $5 box. I ain't never heard of that.
Exactly.
Okay? Ain't no way a brother gets to shoot up a church and then he gets treated to Magnolia chicken. I never heard of that. But anyway, so, I don't understand. So now let's go deeper into the video, right? Let's go deeper into the video.
Exactly.
Cinema, you mentioned Death on the Pale Horse riding around in the background.
Yeah.
The direction that the pale horse was coming from was the police.
Yep.
So that's what I wanted to drive home. And basically, the death that was on the police looked like a SWAT. Looks like a police officer in SWAT clothing on top of that horse. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely SWAT clothing. So I've been watching SWAT.
Exactly. So I think that symbolizes America's sole intent to militarize, to more militarize the police when it comes to policing us.
Also, Missouri.
Exactly. Ferguson. I thought about Ferguson. One of the first things I thought about was Ferguson in a lot of ways. The way that body dropped, laying on the ground like that. I thought about Mike Brown when they let Mike Brown, his dead body basically cook and bake in the sun before they actually took him out of there. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we know traditionally when it comes to war and certain things is that when they want to make an example out of you to the village, they will basically showcase your body. You know what I'm saying? So no white sheet was put on him immediately. Just total disregard and disrespect for black life. Okay. So what I'm going to do is fast forward from the video. I think I said enough. I need to get to this song and the nature of the song. There's a particular lyric I want to get into. Mm-hmm. This part, I had to actually understand. I'm going to go ahead and say that the song itself, I like the song, but I don't like the flow that much. I felt like Childish Gambino kind of wasted this song with a trap flow. That's not his original flow. His original flow is not the trap style. I know he likes it because he's a fan of Migos. So he had like a Migos delivery. He sound like Migos, Young Thug, and them. But that's not his original flow. Go ahead, Cinema.
That's basically he was in the studio with.
Exactly, he was in the studio with them, 21 Savage. He was in the studio with them. So I understand that. I'm just being critical for the sake of being critical. So I feel like that was the only thing that was wasted. But I actually get that him rhyming like this was actually more of a marketing thing, because he probably figured, hey, this is what these people of his crowd too, and the younger crowd is actually gravitating more towards this rhyme, because a lot of people feel that they believe that a lot of young cats feel that if you have a swag, it's really about not how lyrical you are, it's about the swag that you're showing on a record. So I guess he had to rap this way to get their ear, But he said there's a particular lyric on here. He said, He said 100 bands, 100 bands, 100 bands. Contraband, contraband, contraband. I got the plug on Oaxaca. They're gonna find you like Blanca. Now Oaxaca is a place in Mexico. It's a city in Mexico known for drugs. Actually known for drug cartel distribution. And there's a drug cartel actually named after that. So I thought that was interesting because that's basically what's being drugs is what's being glorified. A long time ago, the only drug that was kind of glorified was, before cats wasn't talking about smoking weed, and then cats started talking about smoking weed, and all of a sudden cats is making coke and crack, make it look like it's cool. Something wrong with that. But I understand the nature of what he was saying with that particular with those particular bars. And as far as the hook goes, let's go to the hook because Cinema, you mentioned the hook. So the hook, he's saying, Grandma told me, get your money, black man. That's what he keeps saying. Get your, so that's where that part comes in. And then the part where he goes, this is America. Don't catch you slipping now. So it's like, look, this is the reality of this country. So you better watch out and keep your eyes on it. But then I noticed here's where the swag part came in. He goes, look how I'm geeking out. I'm so fitted. I'm on Gucci. I'm so pretty. So he's basically saying, look, this is what we have going on. There's not a lot of substance going on.
Right.
So a lot of people are just talking about the flash. So the video, basically, his point was, we're being distracted.
Right.
And this is what's going on behind us. A lot of people felt uncomfortable watching this video. And I'll tell you why. They got uncomfortable because it's holding up the mirror in front of your face.
Right.
This stuff has been happening all the time. Ain't nothing new. All we got now is, more cell phones with cameras on them. So we're able to actually report our own news and tell our own stories with our cell phones and with our cameras and stuff like that. So I'm going to hand it back to y'all. Zaccheus, how would you grade this song? Because we talked about the video. But how would you grade this song? And if there's no video, what impact does this song have?
I really gravitated to the video more than the song itself because remember me and it was Cinema 2 we come from an era of lyricism. Maybe some trap music is good, but with this kind of video, I thought it could have maybe had a little bit more lyricism in it.
Yeah,
the kind of video it was that was portrayed. If you listen to some trap songs are more of a, I guess, how would I say, bouncy, dancing, not really, they don't really have a strong message behind it. Because when I was getting on certain mixtapes I was getting on, I'm like, wait a minute, how come all these artists sound the same? A lot of artists, they talking about, they're bragging, they're talking about partying.
Right. Braggadocio is a big thing.
Stuff, having a good time.
Yeah.
With this particular song, I thought it could have just a little bit more lyricism so it can the young minds. That's what I thought. That's that's my opinion. That's all.
Do you feel that this flow was somewhat wasted because you feel like he could have had more substance and he could have had more of a teachable moment on this song, being that lyrically he's better than what he is on this song? You would say that, right?
I think he could have been just himself, just flowing on it. Yeah. That's what I thought. Instead of keeping up with the trap, style of flow.
Right.
Yeah, it's trendy. And trap music is trendy. I don't know how long it's gonna last in hip hop, but it's trendy. So he just kind of said, you know what? This is what the young people are bouncing to now. So let me just come up with a flow that's just like Egos and others are doing, Future and
Migos
and Migos and Future and the dude from Brooklyn,
Who?
Trap
Tekashi
artist.
6ix9ine?
Yeah,
He not really
you know.
trap though. You talking about
Yeah.
Designer? Zaccheus, you talking about Designer?
Design. Talking about designer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Designer for Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, because Designer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to cinema
Yeah,
real quick. I gotta read this lyric. I don't want to leave this point out. At the end, something was interestingly said. But Young Thug, you need subtitles for him. All due respect. So at the end, this is Young Thug's voice. And he says, "You just a black man in this world. You just a barcode. You just a black man in this world driving expensive foreign cars." And he says, "You just a big dog. You just a big dog. I kenneled him in the backyard. No, probably ain't life to a dog for a big dog." Now, that's interesting to end the song.
That's a record. That's a industry reference if I've ever heard it in my life.
Right.
That's you in the back room. Like if you've been watching the promo for M3 with DJ Jazzy Jeff and how he talked about the industry and stuff.
He got some
Oh
good
yeah,
stuff
I seen
there.
that.
He got
Yes.
some good stuff on there.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
You need to check it out if you haven't. It's a great interview. And he has snippets of the interview coming down his IG right now.
When he was speaking, man. Oh yeah.
The real facts of the industry, you got to remember, Childish Gambino owns a lot of the stuff he does, where other people don't.
Right.
So, that I haven't, without hearing the rest of the album, I don't even know where he's going yet. I feel he's doing something like what J. Cole did on this last album. He's reaching out to this generation and trying to speak their language to get to them and really give them something of substance. But it's like a child. If you go to a starving child, you can't take him a hamburger. You got to give him that soup with the nutrients because his body can't handle real meat yet.
Right.
So,
wow. Yeah.
Depending on the audience, you can't go like, we're listening to Common, we're listening to, we're listening to Mos Def, that's our appetite in hip hop.
Yeah.
If your appetite's not that deep, I gotta feed you. If you've been starving, I gotta start with that bowl of the nutrient soup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to be funny, but as a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
When they go in after a while, when those kids get strong enough, then they could start feeding them meat. Then they start getting back on regular things. Then they start growing their own food. But when they first go in there and the situation's dire, you got to just give them something to survive to get their bodies back when you're fighting malnutrition and those things. You listen to the hip hop nowadays, you're malnourished.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as you were saying, and Fifth was saying, the video was even too heavy for some people to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like it's too much. It's too much for my stomach.
It's a lot to digest. That's why you got to see it so many times.
Right.
And then you need an interpreter. And then he hasn't interpreted his video yet because he wants to give the public more time to actually think about what they have before he actually speaks on what he's actually trying to do.
Right. He wants a dialogue because he's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you deal with artists, a lot of times artists want you to hear their music and interpret it and take it for what it's worth. Yeah. If you catch it, you catch it if it's over your head.
Like a painting. Like a painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It'll hit different people on different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like years down the line, some of these people who weren't ready to digest it are going to be like, oh, snap, that's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I was listening to something by Redman, and there was a dark side, but I was young, and I'm listening to it now. I'm like, dang, that was deep, and that went right over my head. I got it on this level, but now, being more mature, I got it on this level.
Redman back in the 90s. Redman back in the 90s, huh? Yeah.
Right. Well, he's working on Muddy Waters 2 right now. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
But but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to digest this yet, there's a lot of people, including some people in my family. I'm not gonna blow them up.
Yeah.
Somebody in my family doesn't like the song. And me and my sister love the song because we know what's behind it.
Yeah.
But we ain't digging other trap music. And then, one of the youngins was like, I don't, so that appetite got to grow because you've been eating what's been given.
Yeah.
How do they kill the rats? Rat poison is 80% food or 90% food and 10% poison. And that's real.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been real, this is when you eat something different, your system gets shocked.
Yeah.
So I think, for us, I know, because I would have appreciated a different flow.
Yes.
Because you know me, but he's doing it for an audience, and I think he's doing stuff for the greater good, because he sends messages like that in his shows and stuff, and what he does.
Like his show, currently Atlanta.
Right.
Very good show. Season 2 definitely better than season 1.
Right.
More.
And season 1 wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but you notice there's more effort into the writing and into the subject matter of each episode, especially that episode, the Teddy the Teddy something such episode. That one was like a movie in itself.
Right.
I thought that was probably the most random but unique episode out of the whole series, and I think that episode will be remembered and be the most talked about episode of the whole series thus far. Right. And it also showed Childish. It also showed, well, let me just say his real name now, I guess, for acting. It showed Donald Glover's acting prowess.
Right.
He was able to play a character. That takes talent when you play, Martin and Eddie Murphy and Jamie Foxx and many other actors, and Will Smith can do this. So he's now in that same sentence as far as his acting skill.
Right.
So let's kind of get into how he is as an actor in his career. I think his acting and his career thus far is another reason why he's getting this much attention, because he's a renaissance. He's his own kind of renaissance man that he's able to kind of have his hand in different things.
Right, and everyone forgets the stand-up comedy he started with.
Right. Well, see, that's another thing. We're talking about somebody who writes. He was in that show Community for years.
Right.
We're talking about somebody who's been in comedy, sitcoms, drama. He's been in serious movies, comedy movies.
Exactly.
I mean, this guy has a long. His IMDb list is popping.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's not just his music. So let me get into what I said off the air.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it real. I am more of a fan of Donald Glover than Childish Gambino. As of today, I'm more of a fan of his acting than his music. I never heard his music first before I seen his acting. Some people saw.
And I was the opposite. But
right.
I saw him stand up and then I heard his music.
Okay. So the order that people know him by, some know him as the musical artist first, actor second. I'm more so of a fan of his acting first, then his music second. I mean, I love that joint Redbone. That's a hot song. Don't get me wrong. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what's helping his career. That's what's helping this song get so much attention, because of his career as a whole. Not just the music itself, but his career as a whole, I think, is what's drawing a lot of this attention. And it's a good thing that this video happened, because now he got Kanye the heck out of here with that slavery was a choice comment. Because basically that video showed you slavery wasn't a choice. And the things that's going on now still isn't a choice because of the systematic oppression that we still have going on since slavery. So basically, I was hearing Van Lathan from TMZ response. What he was saying to him, what he said to Kanye in that room, I was hearing his response in my head while I was watching the video. And everybody sitting there who didn't agree with Van or seen This Is America and then said Van was right. Isn't that interesting how that parallels? Because Van has nothing to do with that.
But that's how it is, you know. And if slavery was a choice, why they need chains?
Yeah, and why did it had to be abolished if slavery was a choice?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But but on that tip of him as an actor,
and
him, you know, those are true artists, like Prince.
Yeah.
That stuff Prince did. That stuff Janelle Monáe is doing right now, acting and music.
Yeah.
You know, when you know, that's where LL and Ice Cube are.
Will Smith, Queen Latifah. Yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead, Zaccheus. Go ahead.
Too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because you see, when it comes to generating money with music, it really isn't there. So sometimes you have to have your hand in something else to generate your artistry, as far as your finances, as far as what can get you out there, so people can pay more attention to you. Because it's in my genre, it's not really bubbling as far as income, as far as making a living off of it. Oh, sometimes you gotta step by faith and step into something that could possibly make you an income, you know, and that you find something that some other creativity that you can find you. You can find that can be creative in, and which is acting, which is the second. Yeah.
But look at your game show hosts. You got Snoop with the Joker's Wild. You got Meth with Drop the Mic. You got LL on Lip Sync Battle. You know,
exactly.
You know, Alfonso Ribeiro's doing America's Funniest Home Videos. It's a job. And then you do a job to do what you want with your money.
Even Method Man got his own show, you know?
Yeah, that's the Drop the Mic.
Yeah.
Executive producer James Corden. You know, they're working for, they're working in that industry. LL got NCIS LA, and that show is popping, and it's on Sunday night, and it's popping. It's like, it's been popping for years, you know? Yeah. He did Authentic while he was on that show. He tours in the summer when he's off. And then when it's time to do the season, he's up there filming. You know, it is what it is. And that's what you got to understand. If you want to do the art that touches people, you have to be able to control it financially. Because if not, if you're going into music for money, you got to do the trends, because it's supply and demand out there, especially if you're working for a label.
Yeah.
They're going to say it's supply and demand. And, you know, once you're under contract, you're owned. Black man, get your money.
Yeah.
And so these are people, you know, saying things about things they've probably been through, when other people are, you know, pretending that, oh, no, I'm free. No, you're not. Because if you don't own your stuff, you're not free. If you got to answer to somebody, you're not free. Yeah. That's a boss.
Yep.
If I got to get up and be somewhere by a certain time, or
I'm fired,
or my income's gone, I'm not the boss.
Nope.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. If I sleep in and the company keeps going, I'm the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, a lot of things about free thought and how I feel and stuff, there's a clause in most contracts where you can't even express certain things without permission of your company.
Yep.
And that's standard, even in the simplest ones.
It's a lot of ESPN. A lot of the modern day ESPN contracts are like that.
Right. And so that's why people get in trouble for what they tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the 360 contract we talked about in the first half of the season, that's why you don't want to sign one of those.
Never.
Two. And then you don't want to sign one that takes away your self-expression. because the whole thing is you'll see somebody independent and they're one way, and once they get signed, they changed. And you're wondering why. You're under contract now. It's like we talked about someone, you have a mass following, but you're going to sign anyway. And it's like, DJ Jazzy Jeff talked about that. If you sell 10,000 albums on your own, you make 100,000. If you sell the label that, they make 100,000.
True.
And these messages, a lot of artists aren't going to come out in a record and tell you these things or show you in a video. They can't.
They can't.
Because let's talk about Tupac when he was on Interscope. Troublesome 21 got rejected. Then he had to make Strictly for My Ends instead. Ends, you know what I mean by ends.
Yep, we do.
Okay, so that album was, some of the songs he could use on there. That's why a lot of people like that album's kind of, because some of that he had to call people to do songs to fill in for the songs that got rejected that were on Troublesome 21. And if you find Troublesome 21, it was released in the underground. It has what happened when he got shot in New York. It's a whole song about it. And so, but when you're signed, you don't even get to choose what goes on your album. And it's like, I had a friend, he's going to start a company, but it's hard. It's really hard. And so now he's looking to get signed. I don't care if you get signed or not. That's not my business. That's your choice. But, if you want to sign and think you're going to say what you're going to say or what you want to say, it's not going to happen. And so you're dealing with somebody now who has creative freedom, who's creating art and creating shows and stuff the way they want to. And so now he can express himself musically the way he wants to. And I think, if your acting career gives you the clout to do this, more power to him,
Yeah.
And as long as the message is positive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I understand a lot of my friends know him first for acting. The first time a lot of my friends saw him was Community. So, then they found out about his music. So I understand where Fifth's coming from. And in this culture, someone like him is not common. They don't always come around like every 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If I was a little more in tune with the new artists coming out, then I probably would have heard, him musically first. But
right.
Because I'm late see, it's so different from me now, because now if we were talking back in the 90s and the early 2000s, I was on top of it, because the mainstream artists were of better quality then. So you could radio was better. There was so much things with discovering new talent better at that time. As whereas this time, it's not. Your occasional guy sounds the same all the time. And as far as Childish Gambino goes, even he will admit his records are not heavily spin all the time.
Not at all. No.
Not at all. If it wasn't for Redbone, let's just keep it all the way real. He's just now getting radio respect. Just now.
Right, because he had more. He
was the internet. Right.
Yeah, he probably got more spins than Europe. Listening to I listen to European radio over the internet.
Right. He had more.
I do. So I hear a lot of people from here that don't get played here, but they get played there.
Right. Right. If it,
yeah.
He started getting more spins when Redbone came out. And Redbone was on the Get Out soundtrack.
Right.
So it goes to show you that man been acting all these years, and it took for his third. This is like his third album. I think that Awaken My Love is probably like his third album. It took till then for him to. He'd been acting before that, but it took till now for him to finally get this radio respect. He got nominated for that, so he got Grammy nominated for that record Redbone. Right? But before that,
the internet.
Nobody. Right. and then what's it called? Camp something. That was his first. I don't know. I'm a little lost on that. Forgive me, everybody who's listening, but I'm just keeping it real.
But then after, because of the internet, there's Kauai, Kauai, or whatever it's called. Yeah. Hold on, I got them up in my Apple Music.
Yeah,
I'll give you the years.
Because Awaken's like what, his third or fourth project?
Hold on, let me get to the full album list. Yeah, because that's a single. Then there's Camp is 2011.
That's the first one, right?
Yeah, because all these are singles and remixes. Like Bonfire was a single. Then there's the 2011. Oh, that's the re-release of the one of that EP he made earlier before Camp. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before Camp. There was an EP before that. But then there's Camp. Because of the internet, Kauai, or however you pronounce it.
Kauai, and Awaken. Something like that. And Awaken My Love. Exactly.
Yeah. So
it took till then to get this. We might have to get up off of this and go very quickly. Before we do that, Zaccheus, any final thoughts on this topic of Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover?
You learn a lot from the particular video, but you also learn a lot from his artistry, as far as his music, as far as the acting. I maybe only seen him in one thing, but I didn't know he acted in so many things.
He was in a lot of he has a lot of cameos too. I mean, he does have roles. I don't want to make it seem like he doesn't have that. He has a lot of roles in movies and shows, but he's had a lot of cameos too. So he's been acting for it's been a good amount of years that man has been acting. We might be going on. It could be about 10 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of
possibly.
Work. You got to go back and research it.
Yeah, you got to really go back. You got to go back with him.
Yeah, he's in the Star Wars universe in the MCU.
Exactly. Yeah, how about that? This man's in the most recent Han Solo movie.
Right, and then he's Miles Morales' uncle. You know who that is?
Right, in the Spider-Man. He's he plays Lando, so he's basically playing Billy D. Williams' role.
Yeah,
but he plays Lando in the Han Solo Star Wars movie. So he's having a good year, and this year is not even over for him, you know. So I find that interesting. His show is he just had a season finale, Atlanta. The show is good. He
won the Emmy.
Right, it won. Right, season. Yeah, it did win an Emmy. I mean, that man, he's on the right path as far as his career, and it's good to see. So let's go really quickly, and then we got to end the show.
Exactly.
We did an episode about Unsolved, the USA original series on Tupac and Biggie murders. Okay. Let's go into as far as what our final thoughts on the show. We said so much in the beginning. The show has improved since the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are your Cinema? I'm gonna go to you first. What are your final thoughts on the show?
I was saying this off air. Yeah. The biggest blockbuster came too early in the show.
Yes.
Because that was the information nobody got. Mm-hmm. And then they kept feeding you on a commercial like you were going to get some big revy. Mm-hmm. But, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of already knew that the police weren't concerned about solving the case. Yeah. They were concerned more about the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. No big surprise. Maybe some people who were watching, I'm not even trying to hate on you, but right. You know, we felt that from day one. Right. Before the task force. Right. It was even announced. They railroaded the leader of the task force, gave the guy the detective job he always wanted, sent my chick, my girl. I love the actress on the show, but they sent my girl back to the FBI. You know,
I mean, the girl that act on she act on the underground, right? I mean, you're talking about the
yeah. I'm talking about the actress, not the real life person.
The actress herself. Her.
Yeah, my girl. Bro. Yeah. So basically, you know, we knew going into the show that the murders were unsolved. The fact, I think the funniest thing to me though in the next to last episode is when that dude was under Suge's truck. You know what I'm talking about if you see.
Yeah, because that's why Suge is behind bars today. So right.
Exactly. So we got to see why.
That's messed up.
I didn't know that, but
Wow.
Yeah.
But and then the heart attack of the original detective, which was important. That I'm glad they showed that.
Right.
Overall, the show was like a B- for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't whack.
Right.
It was good.
Right.
I like the compelling stories of the cops because it was told in like a Law and Order type feel, which I enjoyed. Basically limited budget, basically had to use other people's music,
right,
or the actors recreating that.
Right. It was a combination of both.
I want to apologize to the dude who played Pac because I drug him.
I want to too because he improved as the series went on.
The Pac death scene, as the episodes went, I mean, superb. Both the Pac and Biggie actors, props to both of them.
Yeah.
First episode just didn't give us enough. We didn't know what was coming.
Right.
So I kind of drug a brother.
Right. I did too. I want to apologize to him too.
But son, I hope you have a lot of work in the future because you killed that. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The Pac death scene, that was one of the best moments in that show.
Yeah.
That was powerful. I seen that episode. That was powerful.
And
I remember him
seeing the movies,
but what I seen, what was so powerful about when during Mr. Shakur's last moment with him when he was in his deathbed.
Yeah, that was
powerful,
powerful because we didn't even get that in the movie.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
and All Eyes.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, that wasn't in All Eyes on Me.
That wasn't in All Eyes.
Yeah.
So that's something that caught me. That was great.
Yeah.
In there,
scenery because I want to say I knew that he that he didn't die right away.
Right, he died in the hospital. Right.
Yeah.
It was Biggie that died right away.
Yeah, Biggie died in.
Yeah, he died in. Yeah.
B was DOA already.
Yeah, he was.
But Pac, I thought, be honest with you, back then in 96, I remember when he was shot, and I said to myself, "Oh, he might live." I thought he was gonna live through this.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
So did Jada. So did his family.
So did most people thought that,
and that's why it was a shock. And then to just see the mom's reaction was powerful. To find out some details about the Pac shooting was good in that show.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the biggest moments in that show.
That was I think episode 5. I think.
Right.
It was in the middle. It was in the middle of the series. What was it? What was his name? Keefe. What was his name again?
Keefe D. Yeah.
Keefe. His confession was the best episode of the whole entire series. As far as the writing, as far as the depth of the story, the transitioning, I felt
the reveal.
Right, the reveal. I thought that was the most impactful part of the show. As far as performance, I'm not gonna say it was the best performance episode, but as far as a changing of events and a climax of a series, that's where that was like at its highest point, of telling a story at the climax part, and then it started to come down to the conclusion. So I thought that was very good. Zach, I'm going to get up out of here and I'm going to give my score. Zaccheus, what would you give this series a score? What letter grade would you give it, A through F?
Certain details, I would just give it a B right away.
A B?
I went into certain details that I like. Yeah.
Yeah. I would give it a strong. C plus. That's probably the best I can give it, only because I felt that it could have ended better. You know,
that's I brought it down to a B- because
yeah,
I didn't want to. It's almost the same thing.
Right. Because to be honest with you,
the ending was disappointing.
The ending was disappointing, and the series itself lost replay value towards the end. So I'll never really go out of my way to rewatch it. I mean, if they show it, if I'll rewatch some stuff I missed, but as far as like me purchasing the Blu-ray and all this other stuff to see, it's not that memorable.
Yeah, I'll go on YouTube and see the clips I want to see.
Right.
Right.
And quite frankly, if I was to compare Biggie's movie, Tupac's movie, and this show, I would say the best storytelling and version that we got out of these three was Notorious.
Yeah, that was a very good movie.
If that's fair for me to say, because it's kind of not, because I mean, it's a big movie, it's a Pac movie, it's a show in USA. But if somebody was to tell me, hey, what's the best version of a biopic of Biggie or Pac that you can give me? And I would say, well, see Notorious first, see All Eyes on Me second.
Exactly.
Because
Notorious went personal with stuff that we didn't know.
Right, because we've had more people personal to his story that was able to be included in the storytelling of the movie and the writing. I thought that's probably why the movie was that good.
And it was personal, and it was things we didn't even know about him.
Right.
And it was told, even how tragic it was. He was dying based on what was, everyone was remorseful when it got released, but nobody knew doing that because you were doing the album cycles.
Right. All right. So, good episode today. All right. So, Zaccheus, where can they reach you?
Twitter, Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Also, you can reach me on Instagram, Zaccheus, Zacc is B73 on Instagram, also on Facebook. Wayne Zaccheus Backus on Facebook. Also, God, a reggae single coming out soon, 25th. Look forward to it. No turning back.
Say the date again. I'm sorry, the audio went out. What date is it? Is it dropping?
May 25th.
May 25th. Okay, this month.
Yeah.
All
25th.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Cinema. Where can they reach you?
That. Cinemascapes Music on Facebook, Cinemascapes on IG, Cinemascapes on Twitter, and Cinemascapes on iTunes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You can reach me at The Fifth General, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is at The Fifth General, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right. All right. So we're going to get up out of here, and we'll see y'all next time on the next episode of The Round Circle with your hosts, The Fifth General, Zaccheus, and Cinemascapes. See y'all next time.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.